Hello and welcome back to Dabs Gabs YouTube channel. Today it's something a bit different. This is a DIY project I did on my own house. As you'll see from the pictures, we absolutely took this back to brick and started all over again. Unfortunately, I don't have any video footage of this project, but I do have a lot of pictures and I've uploaded as many as I can find. If anybody has any questions, they can drop it in the comments. I'll try and respond to as many as I can, with as accurately as I can with prices and stuff if that's what they want. But this was 3 to 4 years ago. So the house, as we got it, was didn't have a working heat source, didn't have gas connected to it, and it all needed ripping out. New rewire, everything. So some of these images that you can see are as we first got it, and I've just started the work. So yeah, we had to have gas connected from the street, which was quite a large amount of money to have that done, but it was run on an old coal fire, but the system had started leaking and it needed to all be removed. We had the Artex tested for asbestos, and it only came back, I think, in one room. So we suited up, masked up, took the the full layer off, and paid a company to dispose that for us. Everything else went in skips. We just got 8-ton skips dropped over at wall, and as soon as one were full, we rung them and they dropped us a new skip straight off. We just thought it were easier using 8-ton skips at a time, just purely because we didn't want to mess about with permits on the road with big ones. You can see the extension we had up back. It was actually falling away from the house. It was the old kitchen. We completely took that down, and that were a hell of a job. Obviously we had to have the window bricked up really high, because on the other side of the wall it was really low and we wanted to be able to have a kitchen unit. And also it didn't have a back door in the house because it was just an entrance into the extension. So we had that. We had all new doors and windows put on throughout. This was the pantry and the coal place. So I removed the partitioning wall and created one big room and had the outdoor, the door to the outside bricked up, so we made it one big indoor pantry. We've just seen the fireplace that was powering the house. That was an absolute nightmare to get out, but we managed it. It was very heavy, but it was good to get it weighed in. Next we move on to partition wall between lounge and hallway. Now this weren't a supporting wall either, so we were just free to take it down, and it made the whole front of the house open plan. It's absolutely brilliant. But it's so much bigger, but you can see the absolute mess it makes. The one tip I would give to anybody is leave your carpets down when you're doing this. First thing I removed, and I regretted it, because everything was so much harder to clean up, especially after the house had been plastered. It took us about 3 days to scrape up all plaster off the floor before we could have his new flooring put down. It were an absolute nightmare. Moving on to outside toilet. Now it's an old house. It's probably 90-year-old. They've all got outdoor toilets. We didn't like that idea, so we bricked that up and we actually knocked a door roll out internally, so now we've got access internally. I did the knocking out myself, but I did get a builder to come in and do the brickwork for me. It's a local builder, friend of mine. As you can see, it is an absolute mess. It were a mess from start to almost finishing. It took us 3 months from starting to moving in, which I thought were a really good time scale, considering we were all working full-time jobs and we had a young baby. You see the other brickwork as builder did there for us to lift the bottom of that window up so we could have a kitchen on the other side. That's inside of the extension. which all came down. Now to the back door, that's our new back door, but that actual door's replaced. You'll see that the fireplace is being bricked up as well, ready to be overboarded, ready for plastering. We had to put some air vents in the bottom of there to stop the damp coming down the chimney. As you can see now, we're getting onto a bit of a tidy up. All the electrics were still in at this point, so we were working well into the night every night. But it did have a full rewire, as you'll see. That's the extension that came down. Bringing that extension down really opened up the garden. It were a small garden overgrown with trees and bushes, but we'll get to that in another video where I do the garden, I demolish a garage and make it into a big side garden and put a 4-car drive on. I've never done this before, or a complete novice, and we just used as initiative and common sense and ploughed on and got as best we can. So we was going to replace the stairs, but once we got down back to the wood, we realised there were actually nothing wrong with them. They just gave the banister a good lick of paint further down the line. But we did have to put a few stud walls up, as there were a little boiler in the airing cupboard bathroom that we've got rid of, and a couple of bits needed strengthening. But as you can see now, we've had a good clear up. This before we've got new windows in, and it just looks a lot better. We've got like a blank canvas to start on, and so we're about ready at this point for the electrician and the plumber to come in and rip all the old stuff out and do the first fix. I took a lot of the plumbing out myself to save a bit of labour cost, as there were no boiler already in, there were no heat source, so it was just dead pipes and radiators. But it is one hell of a job to do what we did, and you've just got to keep going once you commit. But as you'll see, we're getting towards bringing extension down bit by bit, and this hell of a job taking that roof down. So I did a lot of this work on my own, just with the help of a few family members as and when they could, which were a massive help to us. And but the amount of rubble that got took away, it was unreal. I don't think the images do it justice on just how much rubble got took away. But at this point, we had obviously the window was bricked up, and the window fitter came and fitted us just that one window, so the house could be secured while we were doing the rest of the work. So as you can see, this is what the old toilet like and our new toilet. We were debating which way around to put the toilet, but the existing pipework were already there, so we thought it would be ideal just to replace it like for like. But it is a small toilet, so we didn't think there'd be enough room for a sink, so we bought a toilet with a sink in the top. Now we've finished it, I do think there was room for a sink, but it just suited us at the time. Moving on, we get some photos of all the new windows being put in now. I chose to put the windows in before it were plastered, but then I masked them up so they won't get damaged. But I thought it'd all fit nicely with the plaster running up to the window frame, rather than the plaster having to come back and touch it up at a later date. There is a builder in that outside toilet, you just can't see him. The plumber chased all the pipework into the brick, so it made it a much cleaner finish when plastering, as before it were all boxed in. It just didn't look the best at all. So I'll leave you with some nice music just to look for the rest of these photos. Thanks for watching, guys. If anybody has got any questions or queries, drop them in a comment. I'll be happy to help as much as I can. If it's with pricing, just general advice of what we did. I will be putting some more stuff on about doing the back garden, demolishing the garage, putting a 4-car driveway in, and next, to complete it, we will be doing the front garden. I'm hoping to get some video footage for that to upload it once we do it, but that hasn't been done as yet. But yeah, it's just enjoy the pictures. If there's anything I can help you with, or if you want to be put through to any tradesmen, I'm sure they'll be happy to help. And I hope you like what we did. Thank you.